Hello, fellow ELT professionals. Today we are deep diving into a masterfully crafted 55-minute lesson plan centered on Nikki Giovanni's seminal poem, The World is Not a Pleasant Place to Be. As trainers, we know that poetry can often intimidate middle school learners. That's why this lesson utilizes the 5E instructional model: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate to scaffold the journey. We aren't just teaching a poem, we are teaching the skill of activating prior knowledge. This lesson builds directly upon their previous work with biographies, shifting those analytical tools from prose to the nuanced world of verse. Over the next 5 minutes, I will walk you through each stage of this lesson, highlighting the specific instructional moves and textual examples that will ensure your students not only understand the poem, but feel its emotional core. We begin with the engage phase, which takes exactly 5 minutes. The goal here is immediate emotional investment. We use an alone or together quick write. Ask your students to spend 2 minutes responding to 2 prompts. How do you feel when you are alone? And how do you feel when you are with family or friends? This isn't just a warm-up. It is a strategic move to activate prior knowledge. By reflecting on their own experiences of loneliness and companionship, they are preparing their brains to receive Giovanni's imagery. We then transition to a think, pair, share and a quick whole class share out, grounding the discussion in our unit's big question: what brings out the best in you? This creates a personal bridge to the text before they even see a single stanza. Moving into the explore phase for 8 minutes, we use a technique called the found poem mystery. Hand out slips of paper containing only 2 pairs of images from the poem, with no title or author visible. The first, a river would stop its flow if only a stream were there to receive it. The second, an ocean would never laugh if clouds weren't there to kiss her tears. In pairs, students must play detective. They discuss who is speaking. What do these images of rivers, streams, and oceans represent? This productive uncertainty forces students to look closely at word choice and imagery without the bias of knowing the author's intent. They make predictions about the theme, creating a need to know that makes the upcoming reveal far more impactful. Now we enter the explain phase, the heart of our mini lesson, lasting 18 minutes. Here we reveal the full poem and define our key literary term, the speaker. It is vital to coach students that the speaker is a literary role, like a narrator, and isn't automatically the poet. We revisit our annotation skill from the previous lesson, but with a specific poetry twist. We swap point of view for SP, speaker clues. As a trainer, you should model this live. Underline the repetition of "the world is not a pleasant place to be" to show structure. Circle imagery like "kiss her tears" to discuss personification. Use the exclamation mark to show where your own prior knowledge connects to the speaker's loneliness. This modeling shows students exactly how to bridge their personal feelings with the poet's technical craft. The elaborate phase gives students 16 minutes of independent and collaborative practice. They annotate their own copies of the poem, looking for specific marks: 1 question, 1 personal connection, 1 prediction, and most importantly, 1 speaker clue. Following this, they complete a speaker versus poet T-chart. On one side, they list the feelings of the speaker, the voice seeking someone to hold and be held by. On the other, they list facts about Nikki Giovanni from the Meet the Author section: her birth in 1943, her role as an educator, and her commitment to civil rights. This activity is crucial for middle schoolers, as it helps them distinguish between the emotional persona of a text and the real-life historical figure of the author, encouraging evidence-based analysis over simple assumptions. We conclude with the evaluate phase, an 8-minute wrap-up. Use a structured exit ticket to check for understanding. First, ask them to define speaker in their own words. Second, have them identify 1 specific image of connection, such as the river and the stream. Finally, challenge them with a high-level Bloom's taxonomy question. Do they agree with the speaker that companionship is what makes the world pleasant? They must justify their answer using evidence or reasoning. This step ensures that the lesson doesn't just end with the bell, but leaves students reflecting on the big question and their own values. By following these 5 stages, you transform a short, simple-looking poem into a rigorous, emotionally resonant exploration of literature. Happy teaching!